warned you, Short One. Now you face a foe more terrible even than I. The only other foe whom I have ever faced who bested me.
Hold, fiend! You'll walk not one more step toward the light of day, so long as I am here.
Theseus, no way. You two are legends. I'd be honored if we had a sporting contest here.
A naked attempt to sway me from my convictions. Defend yourself, you blackguard, and may the gods show you some mercy, for I shall not. So, the fiend returns to challenge us again, Asterius. Or rather, to besmirch the honor of this competition.
Besmirch what honor? You're just complaining that you lost, even though I was outnumbered.
Silence, you monster. I'll hear no more such wicked lies, half-truths, or quarter-truths. You, however, soon shall hear my blessed spear. Specifically, the sound it makes whilst sliding into your exposed midsection. Defend yourself!
Asterius, Theseus.
What hope have you, monster, versus the blessed bonds of brotherhood?
Best not belittle him, King. He is more powerful than he appears. We must remain alert this time.
Oh, I am perfectly alert right now, Asterius. And were I still alive, I would be positively salivating at the thought of running through this pustule with my spear, or whichever means I had available. Now let's go.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
We're well equipped to deal with you, Short One. Though I know better than to disregard your might.
Speak for yourself, Asterius. I, for one, know only pure contempt for this foul demon and his underhanded fighting style. A style we shall easily dismantle now.
These two.
So, Hellspawn, you seek to break through to the surface of the world. But you shall not achieve your goal whilst I yet live and breathe, or the equivalent of it here in the splendors of Elysium.
And you leave me with little choice but to make you shut up already, and your bull-headed manservant there.
That Minotaur whom you address is my dear friend, you preconceiving stain upon the earth. Asterius and I are brothers here in death, as we were enemies in life. Not that you could ever understand fraternal bonds as strong as ours.
Gentlemen, I'm back.
Aha, the fiend comes crawling back once more, drawn as he is, much like the unassuming moth unto the flame of righteousness.
Oh no, not the flame of righteousness. Are you finished? Let's get this started. I've come a long way.
Hear that, Asterius? Our fiendish visitor is begging us for mercy. Begging us, no doubt, to drop our guard. Together now, my friend, let's vanquish him, and may the glory of Olympus guide us.
Care for a rematch?
And where do you think you're going, fiend? Thought you might scoot right past Asterius and myself without a fight.
No, on quite the contrary. I've been under no impression that avoiding conflict is an option here. So say your piece and let's get on with it.
You, Hellspawn, shall not traverse that gate behind me whilst my compatriot and I equivalently live and breathe. Prepare for death.
Big crowd, huh?
Ah, you are just in time, fiend from lowest depths. Asterius and I have trained extensively since our last skirmish here.
So all you do here in Elysium is train for martial competition. You're constantly awaiting your next fight to the death.
And who are you to judge, you misbegotten, shameful, unfilial maggot? It is an honor to have the opportunity to spend my afterlife perpetually standing in your ruinous path.
Gentlemen.
Well, Hellspawn, you stained my honor last we battled here. But as you plainly see, I have returned, as has Asterius. And we've no shortage of honor left to spare.
Shouldn't I be the champion of Elysium now that I've beaten you? Isn't there someone else around to challenge me? Say, Heracles? Someone less chatty?
Ah, A very clever fiend, invoking Heracles' name in an attempt to drive me to a jealous rage. It shall not work, but you shall dearly pay nevertheless.
Time for the main event.
See here, Asterius. The god-hated fiend is back once more to be destroyed by our joint righteous fury.
God-hated? You'll have to be more specific. I have the gods on my side. Though, I suppose you do too. Why can't they make up their minds?
They have made up their minds. They stand united against darkness, as do I. With the exception of Asterius here, who serves the light. Let's serve it now, my friend. To battle!
Rematch. Theseus, before you flap your ghostly gums at me again, I'd like to hear from good Asterius this time. He almost never gets a word in thanks to you.
The king speaks for the both of us, short one. Though if you wish to hear me say something to you, I will oblige.
And I too shall oblige. That is, oblige my trusty spear, which yearns to penetrate your soft and vulnerable, altogether pallid flesh. Now die!
Asterius, other guy.
I have recovered, as you can plainly see, monster, as has Asterius. And this time, we are filled with renewed vigor to destroy you utterly.
So we're locked in an endless cycle of violence, basically. I guess that's one way for you to pass the time here in this stodgy place.
You take that back about Elysium. Or better, I shall make you eat those careless, inappropriate remarks. Come, Asterius, to war!
Rematch.
The monster has returned in a vainglorious attempt to wrest the title champion from me.
I couldn't care less about your title. Though, shouldn't you share it with the Minotaur? He's more than half the reason you've been in any trouble.
You'll not drive a wedge between us, fiend. Asterius and I share a fraternal bond forged from the strongest bronze, nay, adamant. You have caused us both offense, so die.
Gentlemen.
Try as you might, monster, you shall not shake either my own resolve or that of my dear friend. A challenger!
Dare you clash against the champion of Elysium and his most trusted friend?
So,
Come forth, blackguard, and be vanquished by my righteous spear!
a challenger?
I shall never yield the title champion of Elysium to the likes of you.
Ah, at last. Why, look, Asterius, the fiend returns. The rumors that he fled to haunt the surface must have been mere lies.
Well, no, in this case, those rumors must have been quite accurate. It's just I'm back. Realized I didn't want a future for myself that didn't include crushing you repeatedly like this.
Oh, such clever excuse-making from one so versed in treachery. Well, if you are indeed contained within this realm, then we shall be delighted to make sure it always stays that way. Now come and fight. You again? Behold, Asterius, our hated enemy has come to be dispatched before a loving crowd once more.
Gentlemen, I'm back.
If you seek a swift and righteous death, you fiend, you've come to the right place.
Asterius, Theseus.
Upon my faith, you'll take not one more step toward the light of day.
You!
It's time, Asterius. Let us assert our greatness through single-minded combat.
Our sworn enemy. What ho, that is a handsome spear you doubtless claim deceitfully from some more worthy bearer than yourself.
Oh, this old thing. How nice of you to notice. It once belonged to the hero Achilles. A little past your time, but maybe you've heard of him, seeing as he's much more famous than you ever were.
How dare you say such things to me? I was the greatest king of Athens in my day. The tales of my exploits with Asterius and many other challengers shall long outlive whatever comes of you. he returns.
You think that you can get through me again, Hellspawn? Come try.
You again?
Few others in Elysium are so unwise to take up arms against Asterius and myself. You are beneath the notice of the gods, monster, whilst I have earned their favor.
So, you know, Hellspawn, I have been thinking on this for some time, and I have a declaration I must make. I shall hear no more of your silver-tongued lies. You come here and we fight, and that is all.
What are you even talking about? I barely get a word in edgewise, much less Asterius over there. You know what? Fine. I've had it with you anyway.
And I've had it with you. Now come, Asterius, let's shut this blackguard up. Or shut him down, whichever you prefer.
I swear, upon my honor, fiend, you shall not pass.
You!
There is no greater pleasure in Elysium than vanquishing the likes of you.
Rematch.
Attack us if you dare, blackguard. Asterius and I stand ready.
A challenger?
We've nothing left to say to one another, Hellspawn, other than to battle!
No matter how you try, you cannot shake the bond we share, monster.
By the gods of Olympus, you'll go no further on your wicked quest.
Gentlemen.
Come forth and die, preferably with some amount of dignity.
These two.
Ah, at last. Come, Asterius, let's vanquish this blackguard. Prepare to be sent back into the depths whence you came.
There is but one thing I shall give to you, blackguard. Other than the razor-sharp point of my blessed spear, you are resilient. Time after time you challenge us. Sometimes I fear I shall develop some sort of grudging respect for you.
I've no such fear myself, Theseus, though I appreciate you noticing. You're quite an inspiration, you know. I wouldn't come all this way to destroy just anyone.
To be destroyed, you mean? I see you, plain monster. You seek the glory of this fight before this crowd. You yearn for it. Then you shall have it, just as often as you please. Our sworn enemy.
You challenge us to battle, Hellspawn. Then Asterius and I accept. You stop right there, blackguard, and make your plans for death.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
You return at your peril, Hellspawn. You'll get no quarter here.
Ah, at last. Our foolhardy challenger approaches once again, I see. Well then, prepare to be run through. Face us, filth, however many times it takes, until you cannot stand it any longer.
Asterius and I shall smite you back into the lowest depths of hell.
A challenger.
I always shall rise up to thwart your wicked plans, monster.
Rematch.
Come, Hellspawn, and get destroyed by the two greatest fighters in Elysium. I see my brethren failed to thwart your advance. Well, you shall go no further.
This has to be some kind of bad dream.
Ah, it's finally time, Asterius. He's here. Aren't you now, you vile, insignificant Hellspawn? Prepare now to be overrun.
Oh, this is unfair. That's a bronze-plated Macedonian Tau Lambda. What's an obnoxious bellyacre like you doing with the most durable chariot created to date?
You don't deserve to know. Suffice it that Asterius and I were handsomely rewarded once again, and we shall not hesitate to exploit our hard-fought spoils against you! Brothers in death! Come forth, blackguard, and you shall soon be crushed under the massive wheels of the finest chariot the world has ever known!
You only have that chariot because of me, you know. It's all because of a condition of the Pact of Punishment. Nothing you did or earned, so drop the act.
What? You claim to be my benefactor, when in truth, you are my figuratively mortal enemy? I'll do the chariot equivalent of trample you. He returns. Well, you senseless monster, I suspect you're not so pleased with yourself now. Behold, for my glorious chariot has been restored.
Oh, indeed. Nice work. Though it must have cost a fortune in gemstones and diamonds restoring an old Macedonian. I thought it was totaled after last time.
The only thing which shall be totaled here, you heartless property-destroying scourge, is you yourself, Asterius. Together, let us break him. My chariot and I stand ready for you, demon. And I assume Asterius as well. I feel it in my phantom heart. We shall not fall to you this time.
You know, my opinion of the Macedonian Tau Lambda has fallen precipitously of late. Though perhaps it's not the chariot, but the driver.
Silence! Show me a finer chariot driver anywhere within Elysium. Why, you cannot! I'll run you down for such an insult to my pride! He returns. Come, blackguard, and be crushed beneath the raging wheelwork of the Macedonian Tau Lambda once again!
Theseus, you do know you look even more ridiculous than normal wearing that mask. I get the chariot and the unsporting weaponry, but why wear that thing?
This blessed mask was crafted by great Daedalus himself. A work of art and my entitled claim as champion. What has he ever done for you?
Time for the main event.
Ready yourself and your fine armor, friend Asterius. I shall drive circles around him whilst you dispatch him with your mighty axe.
Your strategy might work a little better if you didn't shout it loud enough for me to hear. Though I have to say, I'm impressed you can drive, fight, and shout all at the same time.
And I, fiend, am impressed that you yet live and breathe. A temporary state Asterius and I shall soon alleviate. To war!
Care for a rematch?
He's here, King. Activating armor. It's fortunate repairs in your chariot were completed in time.
Nonsense, my friend. We could defeat this vile hellspawn with or without the additional divine protection we've been granted here. Get him!
Asterius, other guy.
Beware, Asterius. The demon comes. The demon who would sever the fraternal bonds we share if we so much as drop our guard.
What? You think I'm here to ruin your friendship? Look, to each his own in that regard, though, since you bring it up, I really don't see why Asterius puts up with you.
You see? Just as I said. Cover your bovine ears, Asterius, for this monstrosity would poison us to get the upper hand. He would pit you against me, Asterius. I can see it in his mismatched eyes. I cannot shake the terrible vision that someday or night it shall be me standing alone here whilst you take sides against me with that fiend.
Asterius, about that, please consider it a standing offer if you like. I'd rather have you as a friend than as a foe. Not sure that I can say the same for Theseus, of course.
You poisonous worm! I knew you had a more sinister trick at play, because your fighting style certainly is of no concern just on its own. Are there truly no depths to which you would not stoop? I'm telling you, you're wrong, Asterius. He is no royalty, most certainly not any I would recognize. He's but a nameless, long-forgotten minor god, born of the depths and bound to stay in them.
I I too once was berated by such words, King. We've faced this enemy how many times? And in my estimation, he's fought bravely here.
Bravely? Hiding behind those pillars is what you call bravely, Asterius? We shall have to discuss this strange lapse of judgment after we achieve our victory. I hope you're perfectly pleased with yourself, Hellspawn, because Asterius has been quite cross with me, such as he is. He says I have misjudged the likes of you. Outrageousness.
You don't hear me, King. We still have a lot to learn about this foe. Each time he's differently equipped. Weapons, God-given abilities, and such. Despite our efforts, it's been difficult to read his strategies.
And now you're saying I can't fight Asterius? Even though I had no difficulty besting you within that maze of yours? Come on, let's do this fight! Well, Worm, come fight us, I suppose, and take fullest advantage of the havoc that you sowed. We are no team. We're merely two combatants, simultaneously booked to be here now.
King, I think you're overreacting here. Try to be reasonable, and be more considerate about my point of view. Don't think I'm asking for too much.
You're asking the impossible of me. But let us fight. And let us lose, I'm sure. Because if we are not a team, what are we then, Asterius? Please fight with me again, Asterius. I mean, just like before. You must forgive me my indecencies of late. This blasted fiend, his lies and treachery get right under my skin. Or the phantasmagorical equivalent.
Swear something to me, King. That you'll discard your fears about our bond. The short one here is never going to break it. He doesn't even understand it. The only one who can break it is you yourself.
Oh, my dear friend Asterius, I see, of course, you're right. You're right. You're right. And I solemnly do swear to you indeed that I shall never again doubt our brotherhood, nor shall I ever listen to this fiend. Together, now and always.
Well, glad that's settled then.
A challenger. Have you yet heard, monster? The Queen Persephone is back to rule the underworld in all her terrifying grace. Perhaps one of these days or nights she shall be present in the stands to witness your destruction at our hands.
Yeah, about that, she's my mother. So maybe watch your fool mouth with me, or else I might just put in a bad word.
Oh, you disgust me, demon, that you would even dare to say such things about the Queen. Prepare now to be vanquished in her name.
Big crowd, huh?
Tell me something, monster. Whence did you steal that kingly blade you're brandishing about? It seems ill-fitting for one such as you.
Oh, this. I wouldn't say I stole it so much as naturally wooed the fates into bestowing it upon me. You could say I'm kind of testing it out.
Ah, well then, I pity whosoever shall lay hands upon that cursed thing once you are finished with this testing of yours. I think that we can make it rather quick.
Asterius, Theseus.
Ready yourself, Asterius, my friend, for our most hated enemy has come to challenge us again before this loving crowd.
I don't understand this place at all. How is it you're still champion after all this time? After losing repeatedly and often, I mean.
What would you know of it? There's more, much more to being a champion than empty victories. It is a way of thought, a bearing, a certain dignity which you shall never have. What are those bestial gloves of yours, blackguard? Beginning to show more of your true and savage nature here, perhaps?
No. He bears the twin fists in the aspect of a king called Gilgamesh. That king, he too wrestled a beast-like man, who then became a friend. Maybe that's why I knew this fight would come.
What are you telling me, Asterius? Now is certainly not a good time for waxing philosophical, I think. And surely this King Gilgamesh of whom you speak is much more competent a fighter than this filth.
It's time, Asterius. Let us assert our greatness through single-minded combat.
Face us, filth! However many times it takes, until you cannot stand it any longer. You!
I always shall rise up to thwart your wicked plans, monster.
Rematch.
Behold, Asterius! Our hated enemy has come to be dispatched before a loving crowd once more.
Attack us if you dare, blackguard. Asterius and I stand ready. You return at your peril, Hellspawn. You'll get no quarter here. I shall never yield the title champion of Elysium to the likes of you. Come, Hellspawn, and get destroyed by the two greatest fighters in Elysium. Upon my faith, you'll take not one more step toward the light of day.
Gentlemen, I'm back.
You think that you can get through me again, Hellspawn? Come try.
Rematch.
You stop right there, blackguard, and make your plans for death. We've nothing left to say to one another, Hellspawn, other than to battle! You are beneath the notice of the gods, monster, whilst I have earned their favor. Come forth and die, preferably with some amount of dignity.
Gentlemen.
If you seek a swift and righteous death, you fiend, you've come to the right place.